Hey folks, Ted here with Exped, and the third video talking about the new Ergo Hammock. The first video we talked about setting the hammock up and seeing how it pitched up really fast and really quickly. In the second video we went ahead and put the canopy or the Ergo fly over the top so you can see how expansive this is. In this video here we just kind of want to walk you through the details of the Ergo Hammock because it's a pretty special hammock. The Ergo was designed around the concept of finding a hammock or making a hammock that would lay the body as flat as possible. So it was designed with a flat body in mind. So often the traditional hammock hangs you sort of on an axis from tree to tree and you get a little bit of a banana shape. And some people can handle that and know the technique for sleeping that, but a lot of people don't enjoy that at all. Fine for the afternoon, but not so nice for an overnight stay. So the Ergo Hammock was designed to sleep you in a more diagonal position. It's a technique that a lot of traditional hammock people have always shifted into, and this one does it for you automatically. You don't have to worry about shifting in the middle of the night. It locks you in that position all night long. It's very comfortable. I'll show you how this works a little bit later on when I actually lay in it. But let me go ahead and talk about the suspension system. I'm going to walk you through some of the details here. When we deployed the suspension kit earlier, I wanted to point out that the suspension kit is a webbing strap that wraps around the tree, and it's big enough so that it can take 2 or 3 wraps around a smaller tree, and around a bigger tree you got enough room so you can expand it all the way through, and that is locked onto this special slit cord. Exped has developed this cord over a period of years and finds it incredibly effective for its versatility. In other words, I can go ahead and clip this carabiner anywhere along this that I need to. It's great for hanging gear, whatever else you want to. It's really nice. And this combination of the suspension kit right here works really well, especially when it's really nasty and wet on the outside, because of this drip clip, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Any moisture, rain, or whatever else that hits the tree or happens to hit the webbing strap is going to migrate down the strap right here. Most of it's protected by the fly, but if you've got a real expansive tree-to-tree distance, you can get more moisture on here, but that tends to come down and naturally follow the rope down, so it's guttering off. Any moisture that happens to make it to the carabiner and wants to migrate further hits this particular drip ring right here and then also falls off. So you don't have to worry about the weather making it to your hammock. You stay nice and dry the entire time. As we go down the Dyneema straps that we're locked onto here, you can see that these Dyneema cords are basically just like a suspension bridge, a flat suspension bridge that keeps your body suspended properly. You've got a mesh canopy to keep the bugs out, and you'll see how nice and roomy that is on the inside. And the actual hammock body itself is actually comprised of 2 elements. You have the inner hammock, which is sewn slightly smaller than the outer hammock, and that means that when I crawl into this, there's never any tension on the outer fabric. Now the fabric is really tightly woven, it's breathable, so I don't have any condensation building up down there, but it's also tight enough so that you're not going to have bugs poking through, and in the event, even if you push through hard, because the inner the inner hammock itself is actually smaller, you never have any tension. The bugs can't get through the 2 layers. It's really, really effective. So bug mesh up here, bug proof down below. I'm actually going to crawl in for a second so you can see how this works. I talked about the 2 different layers, and what we've done before I get in is we've actually put in a separate zipper right here that accesses the area between the 2 hammocks. Now, a lot of people take their extra gear, and this is actually not a bad idea, and drop it on the inside like that. It's a good place to store that stuff. You could go ahead and put an extra sleeping bag down there, stuff sacks, clothing to give you some insulation, and you can just sleep in it this way. But on anything other than a really hot summer night, a hammock can be a fairly cold sleeping environment, and so we really recommend actually using a mat. And so this ends up also being our mat sleeve. I've already inflated a mat, and in this case it's a long, wide mat. The hammock is designed to accommodate our longest mats, so it'll also accommodate really tall people. Gotta slide this on in. Get that in place, and then go ahead and lock the pocket up. Now there's another zipper system like this at the other end, so that if I'm in the hammock, I can actually go ahead and take any clothing that I have overnight that I don't want cluttering up the inside space, unzip the head end of the hammock and the pocket, and drop the extra stuff in there. So you've got lots of options that way. This is where you start to see the actual suspension bridge kind of an effect that you've got going on. You can see how this actually does a beautiful job of giving you space and volume and a relatively flat space to work with on the inside. I'm going to crawl in so you can see what's happening. When you get into the hammock the first time, if you sit right here, the whole hammock's going to want to dump you out just because it's asymmetrical like this. So when you get in, you want to go ahead and actually sit right here. That will actually balance the whole system nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and take the whole hammock, sit down underneath it, or onto it, and into it. Kick off my shoes, and put my feet on in. And then you're going to go ahead and lay in the hammock. You want to go ahead and get yourself positioned properly. Depending upon, get the buck netting out of my face. Depending upon where you sleep. If you sleep at the foot end, it's going to tilt a little bit to the foot. If you sleep far at the head end, it's going to tilt a little bit back. So you want to find that space that you're comfortable with so you get the right sleeping angle. Now you'll notice, I'm going to get inside the hammock now and zip it shut, that the bug mesh is very, very spacious. Got lots of headroom in here. I can sit up and read in here if I want to. When I lay back, got loads of room. It's all suspended from the top right here. I can go ahead and use the tensioners to tension up even farther if I want to. Hang headlamps and gear from the inside, or I can go ahead and loosen that up. In the scenario that I have no bugs at all, I can actually unzip this all the way and tuck it back into little pockets that are on the inside of the hammock. The Ergo Hammock is a great space. It's a great shelter. It accommodates people that like to have a little more of a flat lay than a bent lay. It's a very, very comfortable position. In fact, I think I'm going to stay in it. I'll catch you guys a little later on.